You've all heard the term McDojo. What's a McDojo?
Don't wait up or down. Don't be smart, right up.
You know, we've got McMansions, we've got McDonald's. I don't know, I like McDonald's, right? Is it bad to be in a McDojo? Is it bad to live in a McMansion? You know, I think what it is, it really comes down to conspicuous consumption. When you hear the term McMansion, you don't hear the people living in it saying they live in a McMansion. It's people who live in smaller houses or apartments that say, oh, that's just an ugly McMansion. They don't like it. McDonald's, right? Everybody likes to make fun of McDonald's, but how many billions of burgers do they serve? How many times have you eaten at McDonald's? Don't lie. I know you eat there. I know you went there today, right? When people say McDojo, what they're basically saying is that you have a big academy, or a big dojo, Jiu-Jitsu. You know, I've been doing Jiu-Jitsu so long, we call it academies. But you have a big dojo, a big school, and here, I'm actually looking at a definition here on Rational Wiki. McDojo is a pejorative term in the same vein as McMansion or McChurch. Oh yeah, McChurch. Yeah, there's some big ones too. Referring to martial arts academies, generally located in the Western world, which, rather than being honestly committed to teaching students, are instead concerned primarily with amassing a profit. It began in the 70s as a result of the West's collective enamoration with Bruce Lee and Hong Kong martial arts. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so what are your typical McDojos? Obviously karate schools, taekwondo schools, and now you're starting to see some jiu-jitsu McDojos, some MMA McDojos. Here's the way I look at it. If they're providing the service they're supposed to be providing, then so what? Let's kind of look at it a different way. What is the biggest academy for jiu-jitsu? Because I don't know the other arts. But what's the biggest academy? Well, there's actually two. First one you can guess is Gracie Torrance, run by Hiron and Henner Gracie. How big are they? They are massive. We're talking 1,300 students per month pay monthly dues there. I know they had just relocated. They left their facility on Artesia Boulevard, went to a new facility. I haven't been to this one yet. I haven't visited because I haven't been to California since they opened it. But from what I understand, they have 3 main mats. One main mat, the main mat, it's 6,000 square feet. So 6,000 square feet, how big is that? What's the square root of 60? Okay, so the mat is about 80 by 80. Okay, so 80, how big is that, right? 80 feet. It is 26 yards, right? If you think of a football field, forget the end zones, just whatever they run on where the hash marks are, 1/4 of it is the length of one of the sides of the mat. Right, so I need to reach this way, Rusty tells me. For those of you who don't know, Rusty's right behind the camera. He's telling me what to do.
No, I'm not here. I'm not doing anything. No.
So if you imagine a mat that's 80 feet by 80 feet or 26 yards by 26 yards, that's how big the big mat is at the new Gracie Academy. They have 2 smaller mats that are half that size, 3,000 square feet. So imagine 50 plus feet by 50 plus feet. That's how huge it is. Now, if you kind of think of the general size of a class on a mat to warrant a mat that big, on the large mat, if I'm not mistaken, I kind of thought about it, you're looking at about 200 people on the mat at one time, comfortably. That's huge, right? I mean, that is immense. I mean, most schools are lucky to hit 100 students. And here you have 1,301. Plus, if you add in the Gracie University, plus if you add in their certified training centers, plus if you add in the Gracie garages, all fall under the umbrella of Gracie Torrance. Now you're talking tens of thousands of students worldwide, right? So now what's the next biggest one? Well, at least as far as in the building, the next one you're looking at, or probably the same, is Hensel Gracie School in New York. 1,300 plus students per month as well. Some of you who are on the self-defense side, the traditional side, may look at a competition school like Henzo's and call it a McDojo. Well, look, now the people on the competition side can look back on the traditional side and call Gracie Torrance a McDojo. Both schools make a load of money. So much money. But does that make them a McDojo? Well, I don't know. I mean, Hidon and Henner, don't they have a pretty good UFC fighter that came out of their school right now? Brian Ortega? I don't think he's lost yet. But he's homegrown Gracie Torrance. You can think of a lot of black belts that come through Gracie Torrance or came through Gracie. I came through Gracie Torrance. Dave Kaba came through Gracie Torrance. Hidon and Henner, they're phenomenal. Their jiu-jitsu is incredible. Their business acumen is incredible as well. So flip on the other side, on the other coast where Henzo is. Henzo, phenomenal jiu-jitsu practitioner, right? Everybody knows Henzo. Well, who teaches a lot of classes there? Well, he's got a lot of black belts that you and I have never heard of, but they're doing a good job there. I mean, look at the guys that John Danaher's producing out of there, right? Is it Gary Tonin? I think Gary Tonin's out of there. And then you got the two brothers that are just killing it. And they come out of what you could say is a McDojo, a very big, very profitable school. Here's the way I look at it. I don't call any particular school a McDojo. No, I can't just look at it and go, that's a McDojo. Here's the way you need to look at it. If you're not getting the value for the money that you're spending, maybe that's a McDojo. You know, maybe they were opened purely for profit. But I can tell you, if a school doesn't work toward generating a profit every month, they won't be a school for long. They'll be gone. People like to be judgmental. That's just human nature. And you like to say, well, I train at this school, but that school down the street's a McDojo. Maybe, maybe not. What if you had walked into that place first, signed up there, and you got to know everybody there and you like training there? Maybe you'd be calling the school you're at now a McDojo. Anyway, that term can be kind of divisive, and I'm just bringing it up because I just like saying it, McDojo. It's kind of funny, isn't it? But as far as your school, just think about the value that you're getting. What you're there for. Are you getting what you're looking for? If you're not getting what you're looking for, then go to another school, right? I think I've done a video somewhere about how to switch a school. Don't be judgmental. Just train where you train and just be as good as you're going to be good. As good as you're trying to get. Just think how lucky you are that you have the time to train. A lot of people don't. Anyway, that's all I got for you in this video. Take care and happy training. Bye-bye now.